Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're going to quickly touch on my teams for the upcoming treasure map against Ace, the Super Evolved Linlin, and how to get it done with the rare recruit characters. So I threw a few multis at part 2 and part 3, and I got pretty lucky and picked up the rare recruits. Didn't get Sabo, and at the end of the day, I wasn't overly bothered about getting Sabo. Just the way that this treasure map's designed is just incredibly cringe, and having the 2 rare recruits just helps so much if you can bring a friend Captain Sabo, and that's what I plan on doing for this particular treasure map. I do think a lot of people summoned for Sabo. Like, there are a lot of Sabo fans out there, but with the medal, the Rainbow Exchange medal system, I think a lot of people were using their medals over on the discounts for treasure map, which is, look, definitely a very smart play. If you guys didn't want to pick up Boa, that was a very good place to do that. If you had, say, like 100 medals, you could do 3 multis instead of 2, and it just made a lot of sense for a lot of players. So I do know a lot of people picked up Sabo, even though I don't recommend obviously summoning on that banner. And I already did put out no new batch teams that can clear it, but look, I did these multis whilst trying to build those teams because I get frustrated, I make silly and poor decisions, but at the end of the day, look, here we are. So I thought I'd put this video out as well, just because, like, it helps me talk through my teams as well and just find any holes that might be sort of lurking around in treasure map. I obviously will do a playthrough. I will target the no new batch playthrough first, and then I'll sort of move into my teams. And if you guys want to see anything else for the rest of the day, I'll try and get this video out as quickly as possible. But if there's anything else for the rest of the day that you guys want to see, and maybe look moving into day 1 of treasure map, maybe some teams that don't use Sabo as a friend captain, maybe you're not having as much luck as I am, it's finding friend captains. But over in the new batch teams as well, I did give you some ideas as replacements for Sabo friend captains. Is if you can't find a Sabo, like, it's not the end of the world, because what Sabo's trying to do, and he needs 4 Revolutionary Army characters, and it's very hard to get that on the team anyway. But look, I digress. And for now, we're going to dive into the teams. Now, the mini-boss teams, look, they look very similar to the teams in the no new batch. I kind of just, like, splattered some other point boosters here and there, depending on what I had. As you can see, against Teach, free-to-play Luffy and Sanji are the wave. Everyone gets the foot with good stuff, and fighters are the weakness type. Full immunity, there's damage nullification, rainbow shield, and unfavorable slots. Realistically, as long as you can bypass that shield and the damage null, which is what the Sanji is there for, it just works out great. Otherwise, you can do something like what I'm doing with Carrot. I'm using the Sengoku special to get the cooldowns for Coby. Sorry, not the cooldowns, the attack and orb boost of Coby. Shiroshi's giving me matching orbs at the start, and then Brooks wave clearing. Just wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of mini boss teams. As you guys know, I do like to sort of speed through mini bosses as quickly as possible, because the faster you get to the end fight, the more points you are going to attain. Ivankov and Kuma and Ginny are the recommended characters against Alvida and Coby. Free Spirit, Strikers, and someone else get the good stuff. Weak to Free Spirit, Despair, normal attacks only, Fighters, Free Spirit, and Strikers, that's the one. Burn, delay immunity, and defense down you can inflict, everything else is immune, and then there's a G orb barrier. So once again, you kind of want to find a way to bypass the barrier, unless you want to bring Ginny and Kuma. However, sorry, Ivankov, the rare recruit. But look, even bringing rare recruit Ivankov, it just makes things very, very slow. For this particular team, we're using the ability of Toki on our 2 Ace captains. Ace has barrier pen, so we don't have to worry about the barrier. We have Kaku and Lucci to wave clear, super swap with them turn 1, special turn 2. That's basically a free wave clear. Very good treasure map legend, actually, for just wave clearing shenanigans. Frankie's going to give our top row matching orbs, being Wano slots. So again, Ace is going to hit fairly hard. And then I just slapped on the Boa down the bottom there, that's a bit of a flex, 1.4 times booster. You can replace her with the baby Izokiku. He's another really good wave clearer if you guys aren't using Izokiku anywhere, or even something like Gran Tesoro is another great option. I think Gran Tesoro can give rainbow orbs or matching orbs in the top row as well, so that's always something fun to do. But the idea here is just Ace, barrier pen. You can use the A special later down the line to get a conditional buff as well. Against Doflamingo now, recommended characters are Mihawk and Perona, and I believe the Boa, the 5+ Boa, is also recommended here. Most people will be using Boa on the final stage, and look, honestly, probably Mihawk Perona as well. Strength, Dex, and Side characters get all the good stuff. He's weak to Cerebrals, you get block slots, normal attacks only, defense down immunity, and 12 turns of defense up. So you can't do any shenanigans with support rare recruit Mihawk. I always love that strat in treasure map, but for this particular team, this is what we're working with. Unfortunately, now that I'm looking at this team, I don't have a way of getting matching orbs, which might be a little bit of a problem. If I remember correctly, there's block orbs on the final stage. Did I see block orbs? I think I did see block orbs. The thing about this team, though, is that we have... oh my god, my loading screens. We're running Izokiku, and I think Izokiku gives the top row Wano slots when you wave clear, if I remember correctly. As long as you have 5 slashes on the team, which with this team we actually do. Yeah, so you actually give the top row... Wano slots, and that's basically going to bypass the block orbs. The problem with this particular team is you're still going to have to deal with said block orb. So what you could do is, if you really want to make it a little bit faster, I am using Zoro to wave clear turn 1. We have Toki ability for our Mihawk Piranhas on our top row. We're not really going to bother about using the Mihawk Piranha special. You can later down the line to get the increased damage taken conditional buff, but then we have Luffy to remove the defense up and Izo-Kiku to wave clear turn 2. So again, we're not really worrying about the block orbs. We have the Wano slots there to sort of take care of that. And later down the line, if you really need it, like Mihawk Piranha, they are going to rotate block orbs. So when you use their special later, it should be pretty hunky-dory there. Like I said, though, if you really want to, you could probably find a way to do something like this, and then just replace Mihawk Piranha, and that way you just put on, like, I don't know, like a Shirahoshi or something like that. But look, at the end of the day, I don't really play Treasure Map that much, and I do want to get some point boosters in my mini-bosses, but I know a lot of you guys like to just, like, not run point boosters at all, and you definitely still can do that if you wanted to, say, bring Shirahoshi, the rare Shirahoshi, to give you Rainbow Orbs to start the fight instead, but again, one Orbs are just going to do more damage. Moving on to the final mini-boss, we have Mr. Zero, Missile Sunday, we have Garling and Big Mom as the recommended characters. Slasher Driven, Cerebral's got all the good stuff, Weak to Driven, Special Blind, Normal attacks only. Immunity except delay and defense down, and then 6 turns of damage reduction. They really want you to use Big Mom here, but obviously she's a 1.4 times booster. She's pretty good on the final stage, so we are going to use her there. For this team, we are using 6+ Zoro to bypass the... what's it called? To bypass the special blind, and then we have Yamato in the quick variation to remove the damage reduction. She also applies increased damage taking, gives us color affinity, and then we can use the Sengoku special, apply that to our Roger, Rayleigh, Gaban, who have type advantage, which means that they are just going to just one-shot the final boss. With Sengoku, the baby Sengoku, you actually get a full bottle orbs, which works out quite nicely. His special's still really, really fast, and it's a great way of not having to bring an orb manipulator, provided you don't get inflicted with block slots, which I'm pretty sure you don't. My god, these loading screens are killing my life. Yeah, so you can just apply that. We have any strength unit can go down the bottom there. I use Croc and Robin just because they are the highest point booster. Wave clear with Zoro, he gives cooldowns. It just works out really, really nicely. Moving on to the final boss against Ace now. Like I said, I do have the rare recruits and I do have the new boa. So if you guys are missing the new boa though, you just substitute the new boa with the free-to-play boa and replace the boa on that other team. It's going to work out quite nicely. Quick Dexter characters get all the good stuff. Defense down, immunity on stage 2. There's Fear, Special Bind, Attack down, and Hunger for 1 stack. So you do have to bypass 1 stack of Hunger there. Battle 3, Ace has Delay immunity. He's weak to fighters. He gives you Bind on your top row, unfavorable slots, Attack down, 3 turns of defense up and damage reduction, 6 turns of Threshold. So to bypass this, Nami Karina are just so fantastic for the final stage. But to get around the Special Bind on stage 2, we have the Hack special. We are going to be using Sabo as a friend captain, and as you can see with this team, we don't have the full Revolutionary Army characters. For this fight against Ace, it's not a problem. You don't have to worry about having that chain boundary that you can get from from Sabo at the start of the fight. It's more required for the intrusion. So Hack, he's going to remove the special bind. He does give you a an orb buff or an attack boost. I can't remember exactly which one. We're going to have to sit through these fucking loading screens again. Can't exactly remember which one. I'm hoping it's an orb boost. Yeah, sick. It's an orb boosting effect. So he's going to give you an orb buff, but because we don't have the full Revolution Army characters, it's only going to be for 1 turn. He also rotates block orbs into tandem if you have the 4 Revolution Army characters, which unfortunately we do not. So it's not the end of the world. You really just need him to remove Special Bind. Mihawk Piranha, the 6+, is a fantastic option to replace him with for this particular stage. I have no idea why my game is taking so long to connect. It's probably just like the spot I'm in. It's just the reception here is just pretty shoddy. I'm looking 2 bars, like this should be fine. There is no need to rotate block orbs, so just having that special one is great. The Sabo friend captain is going to remove the attack down. If you can't find Sabo friend captains, just bring another Nami Karina and just use the Karina version of the special. That's going to also take care of the attack down. And to deal with the hunger, I have the Strusen support on my Big Mom. Now, Big Mom, we don't need her special on the final stage because we have the new boa. So that way we can use the Big Mom special, apply a like the orb rotation for Strusen to give us 1 recovery orb on Big Mom. Tap with Big Mom first, it's going to remove the hunger, and then you can just kill with everyone else, so that's going to work out pretty hunky-dory. You probably just want to do something like, I don't know, this, just to make sure that you don't get rid of that recovery orb. On the final stage, Boa is going to remove the defense up and the damage reduction. Nami Karina in the Karina form, so you can switch super swap. I think I did this before as well. You want to make sure you start as Karina and super swap on turn what's it called? You want to super swap on turn 2, and then you can swap back from Nami into Karina on turn 3, and then use the Karina special, on the final stage. She moves the attack down the threshold. Again, Boa moves the damage reduction and the defense up. And then you have Koala here to be an attack booster, which works out pretty nicely. Other than that, like, you don't really have to worry about anything else with this particular fight. You should be able to tear through it pretty easily. This is the one where you want to prioritize your Sabo friend captains, though. However, Sabo is going to be really, really good for bind. Boa takes care of the bind as well. That's something else I forgot to mention. The unfavorable slots, I think Sabo makes the matching, but you should have G-Orbs with the swap of Nami Karina, so like it's not going to matter all that much for what you guys need, as Nami Karina will give Sabo a G-Orb. He's a 2.5 times booster, like he's going to be hitting really hard. Koala's also a really good booster, so she's going to be hitting pretty hard too. You have a conditional boost from Boa as well. Koala gives you the attack boost, and yeah, from there, like, you're pretty much good to go. Koala with resilience, that's pretty much all she does. You want to make sure that you have maxed your fear, or at least a locked fear on your hack as well. Otherwise, he's not going to read the special bind himself, and then you won't be able to use his specials from his special bind. So just that's very, very important. But moving on to the intrusion fight now, this one's the absolute doozy. Now, this one, you realistically, for this team, you need to bring a Sabo friend captain. Otherwise, like, you can get away with not bringing Sabo friend captains. You could just use something like Treasure Map Crocodile, the 6+, or you could even use something like Morley Karasu, if you guys do have that unit. The upside to pulling the hack and the koalas, if you bring a friend captain Sabo and you have Morley Karasu yourself, you can still get the 4 Revolutionary Army characters. It's just a fucking dick punch to say, hey, we are going to make you summon for rare recruits and bring a friend captain to get this intrusion done properly. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. Fighter Cerebral's Powerhouse, get all the good stuff. Also, there is some fun stuff you can do with the Tesoro ship. If you guys want to see a short on that, let me know in the comment section below. My Alliance member, Porky, Unk still got it. He put together a team utilizing the ship with all classes to extend something like Izo Kiku's orb boost, which is, chain boost, chain lock, which is really, really fun. On Battle 2, there is an attack down if you blow a 2.75 chain. So as you can see, you need to have a chain. You have block orbs, lock slots, normal attacks only, intimidation for 2 turns for any chain shenanigans, chain boost, chain multiplier, and chain boundary. On top of chain lock, we get reduced by 2 turns, and that's pretty shit because on the final stage, they're going to give you a chain lock, and they also give you more attack down below a certain chain. Delay immunity, defense up, dex orb barrier, and then an attack down if you have any type orb, Wano, rainbow, or recovery. So if you don't have tandem orbs here, then it is a bit shit, but you only lose 30% of your damage, so you're still hitting at 75%, so as long as you have enough buffs, you should be able to kill. And at the end of the day, if you're only going to 10 to 15 mil, like, this is not going to be a problem for most players. A few endgame players might see a bit of a problem, but at the same time, like, if your endgame players are going hard, you should probably have the entire batch anyway. On Battle 3, Linlin's weak to fighters. She gives you an attack down if you blow a certain chain, being 3 times 90%, and it's for 12 turns, so good luck removing that. Normal attacks only, 6 turns of chain growth reduction, it's 12 turns of a chain lock at 1.1, intimidation for attack and orb boost, reducing it by 2 turns, delay immunity, resilience, and then applies to territory as well. So fun stuff. Really, really fun stuff. Fun. So the idea here is this is the team that we're rocking. We are using, again, the rare recruits. We have Morley Karasu as our captain because Morley Karasu is another Revolutionary Army character, and it just makes sense to put the only other Revolutionary Army character that is boosted on the team. Now, if we go here to boosted characters, if I just quickly sort by everyone and boosted effects, we can just take a look at what other characters would possibly be Revolutionary Army. For example, look, you could probably get away with saying that the Ginny, Kuma, and Ivankov character are not Revolutionary Army because at this particular point, they're children, they haven't actually joined the Revolutionary Army. So that one I will let slide. Definitely let that one slide. However, there is one particular and glaring character that I see here that definitely should be part of the Revolutionary Army, and that is Sabo from the free-to-play treasure map of, I don't even remember what celebration this was, but the artwork is literally the fucking Revolutionary Army. Like, it's Sabo character, Flaming Heart of the Revolutionary, no tags. Like, no tags. Just want to check one more, no tags. This is just a perfect character they could have given everyone to just be a Revolutionary Army unit, and then you could put this character on the team. He actually gives you a chain boundary as well, like, which is kind of fun because Sabo, the new Sabo gives you a 5-turn chain boundary at the start of the quest if you have the 4 Revolutionary Armies, and this ability will actually run out by the time you reach the final stage. It'll be at 4, and then it'll block that chain lock, but then you can reapply one, and this Sabo would have been absolutely perfect to do that, but they didn't give him the tags, which is a bit of a stinker. Now, there are 2 other characters, and I don't think they're boosted, which, again, is a huge fucking problem in itself. There is a treasure map rare recruit, Morley and Karasu unit. Now, these characters are treasure map rare recruits. So I don't understand why, one, they're not boosted, and two, they also don't have the Revolutionary Army tag. The only time we've known Morley and Karasu, oh my god, just connect game, please, I'm not in the fucking mood. The only time we've known these characters is when they are in the Revolutionary Army, and I get it, they're Halloween units, so you could maybe make an argument to me that, oh, but stumped, like, they're Halloween characters, like, they don't need tags, and they're not actually part of the Revolutionary Army because they're actually in their Halloween costumes. But no, like, bro, come on, like, what are we doing here? Like, who are we kidding by saying that that's not the case? These are fucking Revolutionary Army characters. The fact they're not boosted at all kind of sucks, but the fact they're not Revolutionary Army units is a problem itself. We also got Karasu here as well. There is obviously this particular Karasu as well that came out with Sabo Koala like 45 years ago, and he also does not have the Revolutionary Army tag. Like, again, just me rambling on about tag systems is not going to fix anything, but like, it's a good system. Just stop being so lazy with the Bandai, fix your shit, and just get it sorted. So, going back to the intrusion fight now against Linlin. That was a tangent I did not need to go on. I did not want to go on. So thank you for sitting through that and letting me get that out. The free-to-play, not free-to-play, the new Sabo has the ability in his captain ability. It says it right down here if we go here, just so you guys can see it. If 4 or more Revolutionary Army characters are on the crew, sets the following at the start of the quest. Chain multiplier at 3.0, maxing at 35 times, and reduces their verse effect gauge and switch effect by 2 turns. So you can get this at the start of the quest provided you have the 4 Revolutionary Army units. And again, if you pulled the rare recruits and you have them all the Karasu, you actually can do this, which means you get a 5-turn chain boundary at the start of the quest, and it will go down to 4 turns because there's an interrupt on turn 1. Then when you kill turn 1, it goes down to 3 turns. There's an interrupt on turn 2. It goes down to 2 turns. You kill turn 2. It goes down to 1 turn. And then the interrupt happens on the final stage, and it actually goes away. So you have to find a way to extend this, or bring another character that can extend said chain boundary. Now, the new rare recruits, being the Koala and the Hack, they both can actually extend the chain boundary effect. So moving into stage 2, you actually already have this ability live. You can use the Hack special, provided you have the 4 Revolutionary Army characters, to rotate the block orbs. It works out pretty nicely. You don't have to worry about the intimidation because you already have the chain boundary effect. All you really need to do on this particular stage is rotate the block orbs and remove the defense up, which I believe Hack does both of those things, which is really, really nice. He gives you a full-bodied dex orbs, tandem orbs as well, and then that way you can you can bypass that attack down with a certain orb. But the real reason here is that you also get 3 turns of the you get 3 turns of his orb buff as well, which you can carry into the next stage. To bypass the barrier, we have obviously Hack as well, just giving the adjacent orbs matching. So make sure he's underneath a dex unit, and obviously has the dex unit below him. It's pretty much like the main go-to when it comes to using his special. He's going to give you the tandem orbs for predominantly the Sabo friend captain and himself, I believe. So he's going to be able to just burst that particular stage, and like I said, he basically takes care of everything you need on this particular fight. Again, if you have the 4 Revolutionary Army characters, you extend the chain boundary. It allows you to block the 12-turn chain lock, and then it also gives you the 3-turn orb boost, so you can carry that into the final stage. With the Koala, the other rare recruit, she can give you a 3-turn attack boost, so you don't have to worry about the intimidation there as well. You're going to lose 2 turns, but you're going to have that extra turn under your belt. She also removes the resilience, which is great. And then I just have the Boa and Big Mom here as extra point boosters. Big Mom's pretty cool too, because she gives a color affinity boost. Sabo can also give color affinity, so you can use his super type on turn 2 just to help with damage if you need it. But Big Mom can actually increase what is already there. I also wanted to highlight with Big Mom, you can use the category and oven support to bypass resilience as well. So if you guys are missing something like Koala and you have Hack, you can actually bring Treasure Map Koala instead. She's another Revolutionary Army character that's boosted. Hack's pretty much the important one. Once again, when we got a Koala and Hack rare recruit, Hack seems to be the one that is just really better of the two. Finally, Boa is replaceable with the free-to-play Boa, so if you're missing out on that particular anniversary exclusive, you can have access to that as well. So that's my teams. Yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys out or gives you an understanding on how to do it with the rare recruits. Again, Hack is the big one. If you have Hack, you're pretty much in a really good spot. But if you guys don't, then look, check out the No New Batch video as well. But thank you all for watching. Wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure to put a like button, hit the subscribe button, stick around for the playthrough videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Loads!